Dude, I just absolutely devoured some coconut cake like an anteater eating ants out of an anthill. So if I sound like a bit of an idiot, just understand I'm in a bit of a sugar rush. Oh, sugar, sugar. Okay, I swear I won't sing for at least the next 5 minutes. So I got Xbox Game Pass, specifically the PC version. And I've been talking about for a while how it's a really good deal for a consumer. Especially if you're someone who likes to play a lot of different games. But now that I actually have it, let's talk about my impressions with, well, what do we call it? It's kind of like the Netflix of gaming in a lot of ways. Old Netflix when it was good. There's both a lot of games and not a lot of games on the pass. At least that's what it feels like to me. And there's a lot of quality games in this thing. I played Dead Space, the remake earlier today. I played Titanfall 2. I tried to play Starfield, but I'm only on a 1070, like my PC is not the strongest. And I tried to stream it as well, and Starfield was just not working with stream. I can play the game ordinarily at like 25 to 30 FPS on like low or medium graphics, but it's a struggle, I'll be honest with you. That game is not... It's a combination of it being unoptimized and my PC just being old, which is just never a good combination to be in, at least on the receiving end. But while that game is largely a dud for me, there's a lot of other great games in this past. Like I said, Lies of P, there's Limbo, if you remember that one. You have a lot of the Yakuza games, the Dead Space games as well, Titanfall 2. Like, it's really good value if the games on the service are games that appeal to you. You can look at the catalog of games beforehand, and I encourage everyone to do so before you decide if you want to go with this pass or not. Because there's so many games that I just want to play. Like, I really want to play the Battlefield 1 campaign, because I've heard so many good things about it. I really want to dive into that. The new Persona games that are upcoming are coming out on it as well, so I'll definitely be playing Tactica and Reload. And just... I believe it's about $10 a month, which would come to be about 120 USD a year. So if you play more than 2 full-priced games a year, then you have more value having Game Pass than without. But if you're not, then I would caution maybe against going on this pass. But if you're someone who likes to play a lot of games, and if there's a few stars that I want to really see aligned, right? Microsoft has recently done a bunch of acquisitions, right? And while I'm against a lot of these big acquisitions just in concept, it is undeniable that there's also a side of me that's going like, okay, but when are they coming to Game Pass now? Because it's a direct add to the value of the system. It's a direct add to Game Pass. Just in terms of value. Like with the whole Activision Blizzard thing. Did I want them to be acquired by Microsoft? No. But they are now. Not like me saying anything's gonna like change that outcome. So it's like, okay, I may soon have access to all the Call of Duty campaigns on PC. I may have access to Diablo 2, StarCraft Brood War, you know, the version with the better graphics. There's a lot of value with Game Pass, and I don't see the value of Game Pass diminishing in the future. I anticipate it to increase. I think Microsoft needs to do one big thing, though. They have been extremely hit or miss with their exclusives for the past few years. They've been very hit or miss. They need to start releasing consistently good games from the developers that they have now at their disposal. You add that value of consistently good game after good game after good game on Game Pass. I already kind of view Game Pass as the best deal in gaming right now. It would just solidify it and just bolster the lead it has on second place. Whatever that would be. Like, I now have access to the entire Mass Effect trilogy, both the old version and the new version on PC. I'm currently playing Lies of P and absolutely adoring that game. And the one real twist of the dick in this whole debacle has been the fact that Persona 5 Royal is leaving the platform on November 1st. Which sucks, because I'm a Persona fan, but it's not too bad. I already own it on PlayStation, so it's like, okay. But yeah, there is always that kind of looming specter of fear or worry or concern, at least, that games that you do really like and play a lot may leave the system. It's obviously not ideal, but it's just one of those realities of the streaming service landscape that will always kind of be there. And the goal, at least, is for more to be added onto Game Pass than what leaves Game Pass. And while Persona 5 Royal may be leaving the platform, well, Dead Space Remake just got added to it, so... In terms of hours, yeah, it's not equivalent, but I've been playing a little bit of Dead Space Remake, and oh my god, am I loving it. It's making me want to go back and play the other Dead Space games. And pretty much Bethesda's entire catalog is on this thing now as well. All the Wolfenstein games, Quake, Dishonored, I already own the new Doom games, so that's like whatever for me. I have access to the old Elder Scrolls games, at least Oblivion, and I think Morrowind. Don't quote me on that one, though. Yeah, there's Morrowind on this thing, okay. Already had Fallout 3 and 4, but... I had 3 and New Vegas. Now I have access to 4 on PC. And 76, which I hear is getting good now. There's quite a few Ubisoft games, which is like hit or miss for me, but, like, again, they exist as an option. So a lot of games that I may have ordinarily not played by themselves, the fact that it's just kind of available to me now, maybe I'll give them a look at some point. Like Immortals Phoenix Rising. Like, maybe. Why not? And there's also a good amount of variety on this thing as well. Say what you will about Among Us, but it's a good party game. There's A Way Out for co-op. There's Anthem if you want to hate yourself. Amnesia for Hoarder. There's a bunch of open world games, a bunch of FPS games, retro games, new games. There's a lot on this thing. And look, I think we can all agree, no matter what console you have or what side you fall on the console wars thing, I'm against the console wars as a consumer because I just don't see the benefit to like treating Xbox or PlayStation and Nintendo like they're the Boston Red Sox. But I think we can all agree when it comes to Microsoft, they've been struggling the last couple of generations. I think Game Pass is an excellent way for them to just try and carve their own niche here. It's an excellent value proposition. And like I said, I just think Game Pass is going to be one of those systems that becomes even more enticing as the years go on, as all the studios Microsoft now has as first party start to pump out games after game after game. And even if Microsoft doesn't have you as first party, they've got deals with certain companies to get their games on the Game Pass, like Sega with Persona. I probably wouldn't play Tactica otherwise, but it's on Game Pass, it's going to be on Game Pass, so why the hell not? It's a shockingly good value to the consumer in a lot of ways. And there's like a few issues I have with it. Like, you have to use the Xbox launcher thing, which for me has been hit or miss. Like, it's either been like just another launcher, or like this morning on stream, it's given me a few issues. Like, I couldn't launch the original Doom, yeah, the one from the 80s, because for some reason it couldn't sign me into my Microsoft account. I don't know why. I'm kind of used to like Microsoft's like half-baked online since the Xbox One, but they need to iron out those kinds of issues and they start pumping out consistently great games, then like what would be the argument against Game Pass? Not actually owning the game. Like, I completely understand that one. I think that's a legitimate concern. But I feel like for a lot of people, they just want to be able to play the game, and having access to an entire catalog of games they can just like pick and choose to play whenever they want. That is great value whether you own it or not. Like, if I wanted to, I could just start the entire Yakuza franchise right now. I could do that. And I know some people like to clap back at Xbox saying, well, if all your games are on PC, what's the point of getting an Xbox? And like, if you view everything in terms of success through console sales, then sure, I can kind of understand how you would reach that position, but I don't think Microsoft gives a crap that much. I think they just want you playing games in their ecosystem, whether that's on PC or on a standard console. Sure, they want to sell more, but so long as they get you on either PC or on console, I don't think they particularly care that much. It'll be interesting to see what Game Pass looks like a year from now, 2 years from now. Xbox has absolutely had some missteps when it comes to actual games releases, but they gotta rein that in. They gotta pump out consistently good games that run well on PC. But like, all of these are fixable problems. There's like nothing about Game Pass that I'm like, oh, this is gonna be really anti-consumer. If more games start to leave the service and get added onto it, then sure, but I don't really anticipate that happening. It could happen, don't get me wrong, but... And yes, it always sucks when your favorite game leaves something like this. Like when your favorite show leaves Netflix, for example. Like, sure, that sucks. But the value on Game Pass is still really, really enticing. So yeah, I've been enjoying Game Pass so far. Let's see how it feel in like 6 months or a year, though. I'll keep you all updated on that. And if you have Game Pass, or if you don't have Game Pass, tell me in the comments down below, and if you want to get it, or if you're glad you got it, or if you're going to get rid of it. And let me know why. I'd love to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions, and your perspectives in the comments down below. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure for making the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It really help the channel out and help support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody, until we meet again.